So I thought I would give a slightly different talk today, not about semantics, at least not directly. And let's start from the very first principles. Let's open a web browser. So we open a web browser, and what do? We look, right? It's very fundamental that most of us here, I apologize, maybe there is someone in the audience who cannot see the slide or the web browser, but most of the people open the web browser to actually watch something, right? It's our primary means of interaction with how we experience, or how most of the people experience the web. Yet there is not very much understanding of how we actually do that, right? And what has been interesting, we started that about 8 years ago, is that these devices that allow you to track what people do with their eyes when they enter the web, they have matured a lot, and they have also become commodity. Nowadays you can buy an eye tracking device for 100 euro, in that order, depends on what kind of rights you want to have, then maybe you have to pay a bit more. And what is this eye tracking device? So you see it here, it's not very obvious on this slide. So here is an explosion of the eye tracking device, and it's here attached below the monitor, and it comes with some infrared lamps that shine into your face, and then there are typically two cameras, you don't see them here really, infrared cameras that then look for where are your pupils, and then there is a geometric computation of where on the screen are your eyes. And that's the kind of information that you typically get out of these eye trackers. There is more information you could derive, for example, whether someone is irritated because that changes the size of the pupils and the like. What you need to understand in the following is a little bit about the anatomy of the human eye. I mean, what interests us is the pupil, because that is really observed by this eye tracking device, by this infrared camera. And in order to understand where the person is looking, we have to consider two axes. One is the optical axis of the pupil, and the other is the visual axis that points to the fovea. The fovea is an area that allows us to see really clear and sharp, and when we read a text, we try to keep the text in that area. Of course, it's an area, so you don't necessarily have to focus on an individual letter in order to read that letter, but it's good enough if that letter or the different letters are somewhere